We're playing more Yume Nikki. As soon as we got the knife, things got freaky. Trying to remember things that you can stab. Having a handy list of stabbables in mind. And so far this has turned up nothing. Just a little killing spree, which was not really fun. And not that productive. Here we see Grim Omens of the Fallout game Fallout 76. This is the reviewers mocking it, and Bethesda having to put on a grim, happy smile to try to make it seem like it was going to be a success. Some video game humor for you guys. I know I got a big gamer audience out there. People who watch these videos while they play Fortnite. Ooh, let's go up in here. This we haven't done yet, I think. Through this binary maze. And the fact, yeah, we were here before though, aren't we? Because I think I was talking about the sort of things that you can just read into from this game if you'd like. Kind of... Oh, okay. Okay. Thank you for showing me that. Let's look at that again. Let's look at that again. I think that warrants some further exploring. So that's me sitting down. Get off the bike so you can take a look. Actually, let's... Yeah, see? Great. Great, great. Why am I in there? Why does it give the little impossible signal that I'm in there? It's like the way this game suddenly kind of thrusts you into a sense of importance, a sense of urgency. So we're still in mathematics land. It's through here. Nothing. Oh, I feel like, yeah, we've been all here before, haven't we? Yet I still feel like there must have been some reason we left, right? Did we just give up on this area? Because I feel like there ought to be something here. It feels significant, doesn't it? To have such a major aesthetic change from all of these really garish faces and numbers scrawled on the floor to something so realistic and serene. This is the one that takes us here. Definitely feels like, I don't know, but maybe we just have to move on. Oh, okay. Yeah, it doesn't feel like there's much more here. Let's just keep on moving on. Oh, right. Where did we actually come from then? Here, I guess? Yeah, that's right, because you start just in the midst of everything. Nice. Do you feel like this number is maybe 9 multiplied by 9 some number of times? Or just 9 factors of 9? Like it feels like these must mean something, you know? It's not like the guys in the 8-bit world that just say random numbers to you. Or are they random? See, here's another factor of 9. It's also a factor of 4. But then at the same time, it's like, no, probably not. Probably they're just actually put here randomly. Geez, okay, well this was a bust. All we did was murder a bunch of innocent little Mathland citizens. But I think we gotta try somewhere else. I'm not, I've run out of ideas for this place. Where haven't we seen much of? The place where we get the bike. I think we kind of just went in and got a... Here we've looked around quite a bit. And we already got one effect from here. So let's go somewhere else. This one is... We can look around here a little more, I guess. Oh, this is new. Talk to us or anything? Do we have to stab you? It's kind of feeling like, just to feel like we've exhausted all possibilities with this. It requires a stabbing, but you know, no. Only if we start getting really desperate will we start stabbing totally innocent looking things. We did this before. Yeah, let's not do that again. There's maybe something else here. Feels like there should be some... Like, what I'm thinking of is... I think I read about a long time ago that used psychology to come up with good routes at Disneyland. They thought about kind of the traditional things people do. They thought about the statistics of ride frequency and such. And they basically came up with like a metagame. You know, 62% of people when the park opens will walk to this intersection and then turn right. So you know that by going left immediately, you're going to have much fewer other guests, much shorter lines in that direction. So a lot of it has to do with, of course, like the features that they already know of, the fact that they have maps. But a lot of it, I think, they said was just kind of basic psychology of like certain things that Disneyland deliberately does to attract you, that if you see on the horizon or even just immediately on your path, will kind of subtly influence you to go left or right or whatever. I wonder if you could make a game where there's like kind of that deliberate counterintuitiveness at play. Because when I play this, I feel like I'm always trying to either subvert Kikiyama's expectations of me, or actually guess what Kikiyama wants me to do and just go ahead and do it. There's certain things that feel like you're guided to them, and certain areas of the game that, of course, are quite linear and that you're literally guided to them. But then other things, it's like, I don't know, like, they're false indicators, or they're just an ends to the means. Like that gigantic group of little shield-bearing people here. This is for nothing. This is just for the sake of itself. So here, I feel like this is so clearly a spectacle unto itself that I actually shouldn't expect there's something to be hidden amongst here. And yet, in a normal video game, I think that would very clearly indicate something special, something that requires thorough investigation in order to make further progress. So in that regard, I know that my kind of video game psychology is being abused. So I wonder how far that sort of thing can be taken. with this level of minimalness, you know? Like, obviously, if you resort to more trickery type things, but then, of course, that would require a game that's a little more game-like, I guess is the only word I can say. Here, the sort of things that kind of indicate where you should go or where you shouldn't go are so subtle, so on that level of just kind of instinct. Man, I have no idea where I'm going. At this point, I'm just looking for the door back. Feels like this place has been pretty thoroughly exhausted. Is this another cat face or the same cat face? I think it's the same cat face. It's just a free wanderer. You can tell some of the NPCs in the game just completely move randomly. Alright, let's get out of here. Jeez, okay. This rest has been so far very unproductive. This one we explored a little bit. We found the little guy running around and followed him to the pyramid. Then maybe we should go back in the pyramid somewhere. Maybe there's some more stuff in here. There, of course, is the area we walked to before, where we could see ourselves in the closet. And I thought you had to be small to get into this area. I think when we went in before, we definitely became small. So you can see why, I guess, we warped to this area where we did. They both eventually kind of led to lamps as a motif. And I'm sure we've been here before. I just can't quite remember. Did it take us? Yeah, it's a warp to the Hell Maze. Okay, so let's plunge back in. I'm sure there's still areas from here that we haven't been. And even if we find someplace we've already been before, we can just warp back. So I'd say the plan here now is to explore this until we find someplace that it takes us that it hasn't taken us before. Even though I refer to this game as the Hell Maze, which is the kind of typical fan name for it, and you know, the glowing red, the fact that there's enemies about, the fact that it's just such a huge maze, all of this, of course, is kind of hellish, but honestly, I kind of found this area a little soothing. It's like the vague anxiety I have when I'm moving through just open world areas where I'm never really sure where I've been, how far I should go, what a good way to search it is. This place, with its kind of constant decision making and sort of randomness, it's like a little, I don't know, it kind of leans a little heavier on my sense of hope, because it feels like at any second I could see something interesting, I could make my way over there. I'm like constantly making choices that could pay off. Right now I'm trying to get to this vending machine. I hope I don't get pincer attacked by these two bird girls here. This one I'm sure we've been to before. Oh! I think we have, but let's look around a little bit. This is like deep inside the forest world, where you pick up the ghosts and stuff. It's like, once I go through this, it'll turn back into normal forest worlds. Yeah, okay. So that's like a starting area, I'm pretty sure. Oh, I love this music too. I hope you can hear it alright, after the video, of course, mixes it down a bit. Alright, let's go back to hell. I want that vending machine. That's what I was going to say before. We saw it briefly. There's Big Pear Man. I think we can maybe stab him and something happens. We might as well take a look while we're here. So talking to him doesn't do anything. You don't want to talk, huh? Then you get the knife. Alright, that does nothing. You just can. You just can. Just in case you wanted to. Didn't really want to, but I thought maybe, you know, something good might happen. Okay, that's where we came from. Where do we see the vending machine? I think it was kind of up from here. Up and to the left, maybe. And then I kept kind of scooting right to try to find some way that I could cut across and get to it. But I think maybe it was more that I had to go up earlier. What? How did we just... Are you kidding me? What? I swear I went somewhere else. Okay, there's a vending machine. Oh, easy. Easy. Okay, so now we've got some money. And that gave us more hearts. So, you know, that's great. We got even more hearts. We're paying 130 each time to get 2 hearts. And, you know, that's a bargain you can't beat anywhere else. Oh yeah, now we're ready to fight. Now I think we can take on like a mid-boss or something. It would be nice if we learned Viagra or Lazara, perhaps. But I feel like I don't want to grind that much. No, I have no idea what the hearts are for. This one I think we've been to before, but it's worth a look. Yeah, we did this. I want to think that there's yet another one. Oh, let's not go that way. Let's keep going this way, maybe. Oh, that's you again. What the hell? Okay. The pyramid-y one is there. We saw the 2 boxes one. It's interesting that the 2 kind of isometric areas with pyramids are both connected to here. But I want to think... So there's those 2 warps, the one we came in on, the one we just saw, and the one that takes us to the inside of the forest world with the spikes everywhere. So is there yet another one? And then there's also the black kind of stone portal thing, which I believe we found, and it took us somewhere before. And I still think there's somewhere else to go here, but I don't know. Maybe that is it. At least we found the vending machine. Got some hearts. Never know when those will come in handy. Yes, there's this one, which takes us here. Maybe we should explore here a little more. Because this can take us to the desert with the really nice music. And I feel like we didn't explore that as fully as I'd like to. But I don't know. Let's explore the maze a little more, because I think seeing that means that we're in fairly fresh territory. Let's go here. There's the big pear man again. So maybe we're looping horizontally now. That must be the case. But we didn't really go down this way too much, did we? There's no way I'm ever going to get back to those stairs, is there? It's feeling like not. There's the black stone portal. Does that just take us to another warp with the hat and scarf? Maybe? I'm not sure. Let's try to get to it. Because I think we can go back through it if it looks like it's not gonna take us anywhere. Like this little drawing above it. I like the way this game kind of blends decorative things and map-making materials and stuff. It has a real dreamy quality to it where it almost feels like her brain is trying to indicate things, but it's sort of trapped and limited to only using the tools sort of available in her subconscious. Oh, no, okay, I think we did this too. This leads to tentacle that takes us to monochrome worlds. Yeah, I think we went here before. Did we? This is pretty spooky. Did we go here before? Or am I thinking of another time that we went into this area? Well, we'll keep going for now. Ah, no, this is new. This is actually one of my favorite parts of the game. So I'm very, very excited that we found this. We can sit on the train. Get up and walk around a little bit. And there isn't really much to do here. Let's play the flute a bit. But for some reason I was hoping I could sit on the flute, or sit on the train and then play the flute. Okay, so this is, I think, one of like the most brilliant things in this game, and you're probably gonna be like, "What? For real? This is kind of stupid." But to me, it seems very innovative and cool that you get on the train and the train is evidently moving, and you have to wait a certain amount of time before you get off the train, and then it'll be someplace new. If you get off right away, you just go back to where you were before. But if you wait a bit, this lonely train car in the woods actually takes you somewhere. And I remember taking it to a place that I found really cool, so I'm quite excited. I'm not quite sure exactly how long I have to wait, but I'm going to give it like 2 minutes, I think, to be fair. And we can just chill out, play the flute, see what's up with this guy. It reminds me a lot of one of my favorite sequences in Spirited Away, which is when they're taking the train to the witch's sister's house, and there's all those shadow people that kind of just drift on and drift off. And I remember thinking that this sequence was really cool, and there's something really kind of melancholy and beautiful about those shadow people and just the kind of nondescript lives they seem to be living. And then I remember a really close friend of mine at the time, one of my favorite friends from childhood, because this is when I first saw the movie. I was like 10, I guess, 10 or maybe 11. And I remember him saying the same thing. I remember him even talking about how he thought that the kind of shadow people on the train were talking and how they were thinking to themselves and miming and going, well, you know, checking my clock, I'm almost here to work. I'll grab a coffee, greet my friend, grabbing the bags off the shelf. And just the fact that we had both sort of had this wistfulness, this long fantasy of seeing those people really struck me. And I get that same sort of experience sitting here. Even though this guy, you know, I don't know what's up with him. He seems a little nervous. He's like kind of sitting with his arms crossed and going like this, I think. Is that his deal? But there's kind of a coziness to his life too, I think. You get the sense that he rides this train quite often. Alright, well, let's see if we've arrived. Goodbye. And you can see, now we can't go this way, but we can go this way. So we'll find out what is over here on the next episode.